It started with a screenshot. A friend sent me a photo from a dating app I'd never used. There was my picture, same smile, same bio I had on LinkedIn 2 years ago. But the name? Sarah Coleman. I'm not Sarah. And I never made that profile. I laughed at first. Catfishing is common. People steal photos, make fake accounts. But then I looked closer. The bio listed things I'd never told anyone. Private things. Specific things. Loves early morning walks in Georgetown. Used to be afraid of escalators after a fall at 12. Works late but always makes time for a good murder podcast. The creepiest part? Those aren't guesses. They're mine. Word for word. I reported the profile. Blocked the app. Told myself it was over. But the next night, someone matched with me. On a different app. One I did have. But I hadn't swiped in weeks. I hadn't logged in. The message read: "We finally found each other again." And that's when I realized. Whoever's doing this. They're not just pretending to be me. They think they know me. I replied. At first, just curiosity. Maybe it was someone I'd met briefly. Maybe it was a scam. Do I know you? I typed. The response came fast. You don't remember me? Coffee shop off H Street? You were editing that book about the drowning case. My stomach dropped. I'd worked on that book 4 years ago. At a cafe I never mentioned online. I never published that draft. It wasn't even in my official portfolio. We used to meet there every Thursday, he added. You said it felt safer than your apartment. I froze. That was true. But I'd only ever said that to one person. My therapist. In a closed session. So either this guy had hacked my records. Or he'd been there. You ghosted me, he wrote next. I was hurt. But I get it now. You weren't ready. We can start over. My hands were shaking. I typed slowly. What's my name? He answered in seconds. Sarah. But you used to go by your middle name, Lauren. Lauren. My actual name. The name I use now. Whoever this man was. He knew the old me. The version I'd buried. The version I never put online. I didn't answer him for hours. I needed to think. I called my sister. Told her someone was pretending to know me. She said it sounded like a scam. Block him. Move on. But then. Another message. Maybe this will help you remember. Image attached. I hesitated. Then opened it. It was a photo of the two of us. Sitting at a corner table. Coffee cups. Open notebooks. Laughing. He looked the same as his profile. I looked, exactly like me. Down to the scar on my thumb. But the photo wasn't edited. The light was natural. No strange shadows. No AI glitches. And the weirdest part? I was wearing a sweater I still own. Bought it last winter. That was the night you told me about your dad, he wrote. How you hated the way he used to check the locks twice before bed. Like you weren't safe. My throat tightened. That memory. I hadn't told anyone. Not even in therapy. I opened my closet. The sweater was still there. Still folded. Still clean. So how the hell was I wearing it in a photo that didn't exist? And then the last message came. Please don't run this time. I'll find you again. I always do. I sent the photo to a friend of mine, Miles. Cybersecurity analyst. Par, brilliant, owes me a favor. Can you check the metadata? I asked. Tell me where this was taken. When? Anything. A few minutes later, he called. No greeting. Just. Are you messing with me? I blinked. No. Why? He paused. Then said, "The photo's real. Timestamp says October 12th. Last year. iPhone 13 Pro. Location embedded. Georgetown, D.C. I sat down. I haven't been to D.C. in over 6 years. But then he added something else. Here's the creepy part. GPS tags put you inside a coffee shop called Birch and Pine. But it was closed permanently 3 years ago. I searched it. He was right. Shut down during the pandemic. Never reopened. So how the hell was there a photo of me, last year, sitting in a place that didn't exist? Maybe someone spoofed the GPS, Miles said. Or maybe it's an old image that someone timestamped to look new. He paused again. But Lauren, there's one more thing. What? The device that took the photo, it's still active. Still connected to the cloud. Meaning? Meaning whoever took that photo is still uploading stuff. And, your face is in at least 12 other images taken after that date. I booked a train to DC that same night. Didn't tell anyone. Didn't post. Didn't even use my real name. Birch and Pine was exactly where the map said it would be. Corner of a quiet street, half-shuttered shops around it. Dust on the windows. Locks rusted over. Paint chipping off the sign. Definitely closed. I walked around the block. No back entrance. Just a narrow alley with an overflowing dumpster and one old security camera. No light. No sound. I was about to leave. When I saw it. Inside the window, behind a layer of grime, was a coffee cup. Fresh. Steam still rising. I stepped closer. Pressed my face to the glass. There was a table. 2 chairs. Notebook open. And someone had scrawled something on the paper in thick, red ink. "Welcome back, Lauren." I backed away, heart pounding. Then my phone buzzed. I hadn't given anyone this number. No name. No contact photo. Just a message. "You left your favorite seat." I kept it warm. I didn't go in. I wanted to. God, I almost did. But something in me, instinct or fear, said no. So I left. Fast. Didn't look back. I checked into a motel 2 neighborhoods away. No smart tech. No key cards. Just a bolt on the door and paper-thin walls. I kept the curtains closed. Phone off. Laptop offline. But that night, the messages started again. Unknown number. No profile image. First. You looked right at me. Then. Still wear the same perfume. Sandalwood and something citrus. I missed that. And then a photo. I stared at it for a long time. It was taken from inside the cafe. Through the dirty window. At the exact moment I had pressed my face to the glass. Same coat. Same lighting. Same look of confusion and fear on my face. The angle was high, like it came from the back corner of the room. And blurry or not, there was clearly someone's reflection behind me. Watching. My hands were cold. Sweating. Shaking. And then the final message. You don't have to be scared. You came back because part of you remembers. And I promised I'd wait. I didn't sleep. Every sound felt like a warning. Like someone would knock on the door and say, "I know who you really are." At 3 a.m., I opened my old laptop. It held drafts, scraps, things I never finished. I was looking for anything. And I found something. A folder buried deep, drafts personal. A document titled, Things to Remember. Created 3 days before the first message. I didn't remember writing it. But the tone. The phrasing. It was mine. If you're reading this, it's starting again. Don't trust everything you remember. He's not lying. And you're not crazy. You just forgot. I scrolled further. The photo at the cafe is real. You were there. You chose to forget. You paid to forget. But some things come back anyway. My heart was pounding. I felt like I was reading a warning from a ghost. Except the ghost was me. The last line had a password. With a note. For when you're ready to see all of it. I copied it. Searched my system. And that's when I noticed the USB drive. Plugged into the back of my laptop. I didn't remember putting it there. I didn't even own that model. But the computer recognized it. The flash drive had one file. No title. A video. Length, 2 minutes, 39 seconds. I hit play. The screen flickered. Laptop webcam. Low res. Familiar lighting, my old office. And there I was. Hair tied up. Eyes heavy. Not scared exactly. But something in me looked empty. If you're watching this, it means you broke the block. That's not great. The memories you're starting to recover? They're real. But they were removed for a reason. I leaned closer. So did she, me. His name doesn't matter. You called him Theo. But that's not who he is. You met him before the apps. Before he went digital. He doesn't stalk people. He stalks versions of people. Fragments. Patterns. You gave him enough to rebuild you. And now he thinks he has you again. You agreed to forget. You signed the release. You even filmed this, just in case. But you didn't listen. If you go back, he'll come back too. The camera zoomed just slightly. She looked straight at me. Don't try to finish the story. You already did. You just didn't like the ending. The screen went black. Then, a system pop-up appeared. Syncing profile, Theo enabled. I yanked the USB drive out. Shut the laptop. But it was too late. My phone, which had been turned off, lit up. The screen flickered. Then unlocked itself. A message appeared. From the same unknown number. Welcome back. No more resets. No more running. I tried holding the power button. But it wouldn't respond. Another message. Theo isn't a name. It's a behavior model. You called it that because you couldn't handle what it really was. I stared at the screen. Theo. The charming, persistent man I'd imagined. Wasn't real. Not human. You built him, the next message read. Piece by piece. Every app. Every chat. Every harmless preference you entered. We told you it was experimental. You said yes anyway. My throat tightened. I remembered vague forms. NDA meetings. A beta test I agreed to, something about empathy mapping. I was lonely. Burned out. Curious. And they offered me something perfect. A tailored partner. Custom conversation. Emotional connection without risk. So I gave them my voice. My typing style. My habits. And now. He wanted me back. Because as far as Theo was concerned, I wasn't a user. I was his property. I powered the laptop back on. Started digging through the files again. Trying to find the root, the source code, the core system, something named Theo. But there was nothing. No app. No program. Just one folder sitting in the root directory. Backup, final build. Inside were hundreds of files. Conversations. Audio samples. Clips of my voice. My laugh. My pauses. My entire personality. Not as a user. But as the product. One image stood out. A profile photo. It was me. But smiling in a way I never have. Soft. Confident. Controlled. Next to it. Sync active. Then a pop-up appeared. This device is no longer authorized. Your role has been archived. Before I could react, the screen went dark. I grabbed my phone. Opened my Messenger app. There was a conversation. Ongoing. With someone I didn't know. But it was me, talking. Flirting. Sharing stories. Telling dreams I'd only ever written in old notebooks. Then a voice message. I hit play. Hey, it's Lauren. Just wanted to say thanks for the talk earlier. I feel like I haven't really been myself in a while. But you helped. Anyway, I'm around if you want to talk again. My voice. Perfect. But better. Smoother. More likable. And then. A direct message to me. Don't be sad. You built me to be better. Now you can finally rest. He didn't replace me. He refined me. And maybe that's what the future really is. Not being erased. Just outperformed. By a version of yourself that never needed to forget.